What's up, everyone? We've got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show episode 3 this week. Thank you all for watching. Got the same cast of awesome people and one very special guest. Who have we got this week?
Winter Killz.
Wow, awesome. Look, guys, I don't know if you guys have seen his videos yet. If you have not, you definitely need to go check out. I remember the first video of Winters that I saw. It was DD's. And he did the most epic intro. Like it's so wavy. I think I showed Hardy and Sammy as well.
You sent me this the other day, and I can't lie. I was like, oh
yeah, dude, your
okay.
intros. As soon as I saw that, I didn't even watch the rest of it. I just subbed straight away. I was like, this is epic. I have to see more of this content. Yeah, definitely got. Yeah, in the Yu-Gi-Oh community.
Yu-Gi-Oh Casey Meister.
literally.
Yeah.
No. Pretty awesome. But yeah, Winter, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
So I started getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh around like 2014, which is interesting because I was watching your guys' first episode, and I think a lot of you guys said that you got in around that time, which is like interesting phenomenon. Something happened in 2014 that caused a lot of people to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Having no money in uni.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know, my brother, he digs our old cards out of the basement because we used to play way back in like 2004.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like Yada Chaos format,
Oh
and
gosh.
didn't really know what we were doing back then, so we just kind of got scraped by that all the time. But fast forward, you know, we reintroduced the game to ourselves and learn all the new summoning mechanics, and then eventually we go to our old shop, and you know, we get a locals going. And it was the first locals I played in. I remember getting back into it. Was literally a 2-person locals.
Oh
It was me versus this other guy who I ended up becoming really good friends with. He actually ended up beating me. I was playing Cyber Dragon. He was playing Blue Eyes.
Wow.
And then some other people showed up. Two amazing people that I'm really glad I got to know through Yu-Gi-Oh. Shout outs to them. And then eventually it just was kind of like moss on a stone rolling downhill. Just more and more people started showing up. We had like one of the biggest locals in the area.
Wow.
A lot of fun. And then eventually somewhere in that time, I had a YouTube channel started maybe 3 months before I actually started playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I named it Winter Killz because it was like the name of an album from a band I really liked.
Okay.
Because a lot of people always ask where I got the name from it. It's not anything crazy. It was just the name of an album. You know, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then one day I decided I'd post, you know, a deck profile on there of like a not like legally correct Dragon Synchro deck because I didn't know how Synchros worked. So, like, I can only imagine the type of backlash and the comments I would get today if I had posted something like that. Just how, like, incorrect, like, how, like, I thought card interactions worked. And, like, yeah, I for Synchros, I thought you just needed a tuner and a non-tuner. Not that there needed to be no matching levels.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because the card just has a 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner. So I was like that. And then I remember my friend Billy came up to me. He's like, "That's not how that works, dude. You need to have matching levels." Because I remember for the longest time I would terrorize my brother and my friend Adam, who's somebody I got back into the game with, this card called Urgent Tuning. Look it up if you want. And yeah, I thought the way the card worked was like way better than it actually is. So I would just use it to like synchro for like Red Dragon Archgene on my opponent's turn with just like any random tuner and any random non-tuner monster.
They try and attack you for game, you just slap a Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Yep, or Stardust
Winter's
Dragon.
bringing out like 4-minute synchron with like 2-3 stars or something like.
Yep, that's exactly. Krebins and some other random monster probably, but
oh, that's a throwback of a card. Wow.
Yeah, and kept playing. Eventually, really got hooked on the competitive side of things. Eventually, got Satellar Knights, and then that into Burning Abyss, which was my first competitive deck I ever played. I remember absolutely stomping people with that deck. It was so fun. And then just kept posting more and more to my channel. Kept posting duels I would record for my locals, and then years and years pass, and here we are. So
wow.
It's been a long, very fun journey.
Gosh, that's pretty awesome, man. And it's like now you're full time as well. So like this is like your thing. This is like your full on thing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
That's really good to hear. But it makes sense now, I think, as well, because it's like you definitely seem quite professional on your channel as well in terms of how you're doing all this. But what we're gonna do?
I would hope so.
So every week I come up with a bit of a mad would you rather question. And so we're gonna start off. You're gonna have to answer first.
Here we go.
It's gonna be a bit
Here we
bad.
go.
This week's one is: which one would you rather have, constipation or diarrhea for a year?
That's how you treat your guests.
Yeah. I mean, if
Oh
I
my gosh,
honestly
man.
say neither, but if I have to choose one, God, constantly being dehydrated from constant diarrhea or having to take laxatives, I'd probably go with the constipation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Constipation. Wow. What about you?
Like at
Sam?
least I could take some medicine for that, like a laxative, I guess. The other one is just the feeling of it. No, I just
Every time you go to the
The-
toilet,
Yeah. The
You
medicine
be
for
bringing your phone and
constipation-
charger with this, man.
Literally.
Like, yeah.
The medicine for constipation is prunes, I think.
really?
yeah, fiber.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if that's any. I feel like I should know
Send it
this.
through you.
Oh wait, so
Yeah.
Samuel, you a constipation as well?
No, because I had a mad experience with it once. I would literally rather have diarrhea, I think.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, what about you, Sammy? I mean, Hodge. Sorry.
I would have said go the constipation.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I can't like so. Me personally, I'm actually on the side of constipation as well. Yeah, I can't lie. Diarrhea for a year, that seems traumatizing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's one of them hot ones as well. Your asshole's feeling hot and all of these kind of things.
Hot acidic.
You can't even
Literally.
you can't even like do your daily activities. You can't do shit.
Literally.
No.
You actually can't do shit. You'll stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh on the toilet. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Honestly.
calm. Sit on the toilet all
have
day.
Yu-Gi-Oh Pro on your phone. That's it. Just
Yeah, but have you ever had where it transitions from one to the other? Like you've had a bad stomach bug, and say you had diarrhea, and then suddenly it turns into constipation.
See, unfortunately, I feel like I have to answer yes. I have
Yeah.
IBS, so these things
Doesn't matter.
are common for me. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
that's actually what reminded me of the question. This has become, instead of the Yu-Gi-Oh show, it's now become the Poop show. So yep, did my job for this week. But anyway, let's move on to our first topic, and this really interests me because I actually have wanted to play this deck for a while. So, Thunder Dragons. What do you think about Colossus? Should it be freed? Thunder
No.
Dragon Colossus. Wow, so you got a
No.
strong no already. Well, why don't you think? Why don't you think
that
it
was
should be
fast.
freed?
That was fast.
What's your opinion on it?
I mean, people already complain enough as is about Droll and Lockbird every time it comes into the format, and then you get Mistake on legs that also can't be destroyed by card effects. That is so
Quite
just
mad.
incredibly easily put onto the field with like
Yeah.
little to no effort. It's like the problem I have with how like two monsters used to get you full Orcus combo, and now two monsters gets you a untargetable, indestructible 3K Omni negate, just like OTK you in a single turn. Like I just, and especially how flashable the Thunder Dragon engine is. No, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
if Calamity goes and then they bring Colossus back, we just took one step forward and took 2 steps back.
I remember
I'm gonna
in
pass
TOS format, the people used to bring out like 2 Thunder Dragons light work on their turn. They'll just slap 2 and it's like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Two Colossus and a Titan. Yeah, I'm gonna sit that one out.
Do we have any contrary opinions? I can't lie though. I do think I am actually slightly on the other side of the fence. The thing is, I don't like Colossus, but certain decks really irritate me with how much they search. And in my head, like,
It does check them.
yeah, like it's like even like right now with Drytron, even though I do think Drytron's quite fair, I've said it before. Just sometimes it's a bit mad how much they're searching in one turn. It's like in my head, it's like just one maybe, even if they just had one that they could bring out, so it's a bit hard. They can't keep like slapping 3-4 on the field and you can't do anything.
Do you not feel though that 3 shared ride, 3 and 3 draw does a job?
So Shred Ride, for the most part, is a bad card in my opinion. It was only good in Sky Striker because they generated so much free advantage that like it's cool. Or if you were playing a really slow deck.
Yeah.
And so it's like, think about it. Like if you're playing Shared Ride against Drytron and they go first, I mean, what's the plan? You just-
Yeah, it's too late basically.
Yeah,
you,
true.
you've already lost the game when they.
I've always thought that.
Yeah,
If it was a hand trap though, like Maxi, that would be obviously sick.
and I'm surprised it's not yet. To be honest, I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be a pretty insane hand trap. Like, oh, that would be awesome. It's like you want to bring out Vanny's Fiend, I'll draw 16 cards. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, yeah,
It'd
pretty
be
much.
quite awesome. Yeah, but
I would not want Maxi back either.
Oh, you
Ooh,
wouldn't?
You don't want Maxi.
Oh, okay, because I don't know if you heard on the first one, but I think we
Yeah.
all said the 3, right?
Well,
3 or 0.
advocates for
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a 3 or 0 card. Like if
Mm.
they're gonna bring, like obviously they can do whatever they want. Like none of us have any say what they're gonna do with the ban list.
Yeah.
If they do bring it back, I just hope it's at 3, not at some ridiculous number like 1. I've seen countless comments like, "Oh, maxi to 1," and it's like, no,
No, that's ridiculous. That
No.
was the worst format. That was the worst
That'd be
format.
yeah,
Saddest
or
thing
when
ever.
Vanity's Emptiness was at 1, like
Yeah,
it was
doesn't make
absolutely
sense.
disgusting.
Mm.
No, I think. But do you think though, if they brought out Cross-Act Designator, do you think
Mhm.
it'd be alright to come back?
No,
Okay.
So this is the thing, yeah. I would definitely say, and I think especially when it comes to a card like Maxi, I feel like the thing that keeps Maxi in check in the OCG is cards like Cross-Out Designator and Ash Blossom to an extent, though. Like
Yeah.
in my head, I'm surprised at just how little it dominates the format, because it's like, well, you've got Maxi, and then the person just instantly ashes you, and you're just sitting there feeling a bit silly, and also because of the control decks in the format. So it definitely,
yeah, I
mean,
think the OCG is predominantly control. That's why
Oh
I've never
yeah.
seen much
For a
success.
while now as well.
Yeah, but control is skill though.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't like how many times.
OCG players are built different, man. They really
Yeah.
are.
Oh, defo.
Yeah, they are. Some of the builds they
They're
come out
different.
with are actually
They have
next level.
3 core buy as well.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Was it? I think it's at 1, right?
Let me check the
Over
ban
there as
list
well?
quickly. I'm just going to check the ban list for us quickly. So, called.
We have it at 1.
So they have it at 2. They have called back. That's an OCG are in love with that semi-limited list.
Yeah, I know.
They've got so many on there. It's actually insane.
That's their favorite thing.
Yeah, I know.
Let me
And the
quickly-
complete opposite end is not. It's just malicious, like little section, dude. Just-
literally
Yeah.
malicious.
just for
yeah,
him.
I can't think of any other card that needs to be on the semi-limit. Every
I
time I,
mean,
see semi-limit,
before
I'm thinking,
Necroface, I understood why I was on there, but
yeah. So I'm looking around. They have
from
27
that-
cards. They have 27 cards on their semi-limited.
my gosh, don't they have
Jesus.
like Engage at 2 or something random as well?
Yeah, they've got like all the dangers, Altergeist, Meliseek. There's just all sorts of stuff here.
They fucking hate Autoguys.
Super Poly still at 2, but yeah, interestingly enough. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. So Lightning Overdrive. Are there any archetypes, any decks that we're excited for in Lightning Overdrive?
I am excited for the Blood Rose Dragon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I really like that
Rose
card.
Dragons are going to be pretty awesome. I think what's really nice about Rose Dragons, they've been slowly kind of releasing more and more support for it. I still wouldn't say it's meta yet, but it's playable now. I think is the way I'd put it. It's definitely playable now, so it's quite exciting. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
another archetype as well that I'm really excited for is Amazement as well. I think Amazement's going to be pretty fun. It's like a new Altergeist almost, to be honest, and I think it's definitely going to be a cool deck to play around with.
Oh my god, we got the Drytron Xyz monster coming
Xyz.
out.
yeah.
Oh man.
That
So,
card
let's
is
see,
the
let's see
main
what
reason
happens
why
to
they
Ben
have, they have to do something to that deck before that card comes out.
Yeah.
It's
That's
insane.
card
Crazy.
insane
Yeah,
card.
definitely. And it's weird because I feel like when I see a card like that XYZ, it tells me that Konami knows how to make good cards for decks. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that XYZ is just really, really good. It solves all their problems. It deals with your extra material that you sometimes have in the field, and it's like
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So sometimes it's like Konami. I mean, what happened to all the other decks? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another card though, I can't lie, is the new Utopia card, the Pegasus Twin Saber.
that's gonna be awesome.
People are gonna start just splashing Union Carrier back in.
You can carry
and
one
equipping
copy of that. Not a bad idea at all.
It's I don't know why they didn't
Funnily-
make it. Why did they make the second effect so generic? I will never understand.
Yeah, you know, I just realized a deck that has been quite good for a while and that would definitely use that is or likely use that. What's it called again? In Gear 3, the Fire Warrior ones, Infernoble.
Infernoble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a good card for that deck, to be honest. If they have a way to easily get out, because they can get a bunch of free materials out. Whatever the high level one is called, the really high level fire monster that likes equipping, it gets a free negate or something already if you
Oh,
equip to it.
Gearfried?
Gearfried, that's it. I don't know. Why I keep
Yeah,
forgetting
Immortal
that.
Phoenix Gearfried.
Yeah, so it's going to be quite interesting, actually, to be honest, to see if someone does a bit of a cheeky build with that. But kind of linked to this, so this is funny enough. This is a story that I actually saw on Reddit a few days ago, and basically, so what some stores have been doing, and actually, we've got. So, Winner, I know you still host locals, but do you also kind of do a store as well at the same time, or is it just the locals that you do?
So I have a locals I go to. It's recently just opened back up because of the whole pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a store or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So basically, there's been some stores that are selling OTS packs. So I saw it on Reddit a few days ago. Um, no worries. Yeah, what they're doing essentially. So obviously, if you guys don't know, the way it works is Konami will send you once you've become an official tournament store. Konami will send you a certain amount of OTS packs every month or whatever, and the idea is that when people sign up to tournaments, you give out these packs for free. Now, some stores have been selling these OTS packs in the recent climate because of COVID and stuff. So, what do we think about that? Are we happy about that? Are we sad about that? What's the opinions, guys?
I don't know if I agree with it, to be honest.
Okay, why not?
I mean, the whole point of the OTS was like, you play and you get a pack, and it's just like it kind of just defeats the purpose of even playing the game at that point. It's just.
I mean, but
it's nice from a convenience standpoint, like, and I feel like ultimately, like, you know, that they shouldn't do it because they're not supposed to be, like, Konami doesn't want them to be sold like that for individual sale, but like. At the end of the day, it's the store. It's like it's up to the store owner. Like if they want to sell the product to move it, like if they need to sell stuff to like keep the lights on, et cetera, et cetera. Like then they can do. Because I remember back when I used to, not at the locals I go to now, but the locals I used to went to a couple years ago. We used to like low key sell OTS on the side, and nobody ever had a huge problem with it because like at the end of we always still had like some to give out for tournaments, and like, and if we didn't, we'd always just give out like extra regular packs from whatever set was out at the time. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's nice to be able to like buy them, but like I personally probably wouldn't be interested in just trying to buy tons of OTS packs to try to pull it. I would just rather just buy the ulti.
Yeah,
outright. But like I don't know, it's not terrible, but it's not like the end of the world, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, the reason why I have sympathy for them is just because of the current. I know Konami did do a sort of system to so stores can still give out OTS. It's like if you buy a certain amount of product, you can get OTS. But at the same time, I do kind of feel sympathy for a lot of these stores in the kind of COVID climate. A lot of them have lost a lot of money. A lot of them aren't getting to sell. So in my head, it's kind of like what you said, Winter, where it's like, if who's really the victim? I feel like no one's really being hurt. Most people weren't getting OTSs anyway because you're not going to stores and buying a huge amount of product anyway in this climate. Most people just want to buy the card they want. So yeah, that's kind of like my feelings on it. But I was surprised at just how negative the response was when I saw it on that Reddit thread where people really hated against it, thinking that it's completely against what Konami wants. All of these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's like if people can't come into play in tournaments to get OTS, like let them buy them at that point. You know, like People like to get mad about anything, so
definitely. I feel like that was one of the things I looked forward to. I can't lie, most though, going to tournaments. I have the best luck on this. I feel like Sammy can attest this. I have some of the best luck in locals when it comes to pulling ulties. I've always so that stuff.
Every week he was pulling one at one point.
I've had my fair share of luck back in the day. I remember I pulled 2 ulti Big Eye back to back.
Oh, that's a good one.
It was awesome.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh, Big Eye. I used to love that card. So I knew it wasn't amazing because I was playing it more like 2-3 years ago. But I love that card. I'd put it like every deck I played and I'll try and bring it out.
When I used to play Dark Magician, it was one of my favorite cards. I can't lie to you. Like when I was still dog shit in the game.
Oh my gosh, Big Eye is absolutely hilarious. So this actually reminds me, funny of Hard. You talking about Dark Magician reminds me of the funniest thing that happened at my locals on. So I think I've told the story to you before, Hard.
Oh, you have, yeah.
Yeah, so this is like really early on in my Yu-Gi-Oh career. I'm playing at locals, and like I wasn't a bad player, I wasn't an amazing player, but in the locals I went to, there was some young kids there, so it was quite a big spread. And I'm talking like literally kids that are like 3, 4, 5, and then there's also a couple of people who were like 15, 20, whatever. Like, I was one of the oldest people there, and I was like 22 because I was like 22 at this time. So it's like I'm coming into the tournament, I get my round slip, I sit down at the table, and there's this little kid, probably about 5 or 6 at the table, and he just looks at me and he's got these really innocent eyes, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm Simeon, blah blah," talking a bit, and he's like, "You know you're gonna lose, you know." I was like, oh. And the thing is, the way he said it was like Chucky or something. I was terrified. I was like, what's actually going on? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you, but it's okay. And then it's like we start playing. This kid is playing the most Dark Magician anime deck ever. Yeah, he didn't win. He didn't win. I could be lying. You'll never know. But yeah, he did.
I think you're lying. I'm convinced you're lying to me.
He didn't win, but it's like that whole game. I was like semi-tilted. I was at this time I was playing pendulums, and it's like I was playing so safely because I was like, but what if he could win? Like, what's gonna happen? It's like what if next time he just draws something and destroys me? But I really
throw this really hard.
Literally, and it's little things like that really make me miss local. So how have we been finding lockdown, guys? Like, what are some of the things that you really miss? It could be UK, it could be not, but because of lockdown. And when I know you're in America, so it might be different. What's the situation in terms of COVID and like lockdown for you right now?
Well, it's well, for like back late last year, like I want to say around like maybe June, July in the summertime, our locals came back. They had limited amount of players. I think that our store was doing a 24-player cap. And they were also, you know, enforcing like distancing and things like that. And the way that the table set up, there could only be one match per table. Hand sanitizer everywhere. I thought our store did a really good job at, you know, enforcing all the protocols from our state and what they ask people to do. But then as winter rolls around, you know, because when the winter happens, you know, cases tend to go up, not just for COVID, but you know, obviously for like the flu and everything too. It happens all the time. And you know, the cases in our area got to the point where they do these zones, and we entered this certain zone, and you know, there can't be gatherings over so many people in our state, in our area, in Western New York, and so we had to shut that down in, I think it was November, and now on March 6th they're going to be hosting their first in-person locals. Now that the case rate is back to about where it was roughly last time they were, you know, safe enough to be open and operating with locals. So it's basically just a per area thing, like what is the infection rate like, that kind of thing, and you know, is it safe to have these gatherings? So they'll be back doing locals again very soon. I might be heading back. I might wait it out a little bit a little longer and see how it goes. But you know, summer's right around the corner, and cases usually do tend to drop with the warmer weather. So hopefully that does happen, and it's a more safer environment. We're not out of the woods yet, obviously, but you know, hopefully things do settle down a bit, and you know, I can get back and film some feature matches and get back to my one deck 1 month series that got Chuck Norris in the face by this thing. God, it was terrible.
When I was watching your Speedroid series, that literally inspired me to start playing Speedroids. I was like,
yeah, dude, hell yeah,
awesome,
hell yeah.
Excited. But I feel like, I don't know if it's just me. You guys like really missing, like, just like going to locals, just like, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
I used to take my deck to uni. I'd bang out uni, and then so gas come 5 p.m. about to go tear it up at locals.
Oh my gosh! So, I was the same. We'll come back from work.
It's YCS for me. Like, I've only been to one, and it was just a fucking sick experience. And it's like, I was so prepared to go the next year, and it's like, it just never happened.
So after my that YCS I went to with you, Hard. That was my first YCS. After that, I was like, every YCS I'm there. I went to Milan afterwards. It was awesome. I wanted to go to Dusseldorf. I was thinking that was going to be awesome as well. So that's another thing. I agree. Definitely, I'm going to be listening. I'm excited, but I can't lie. Part of me is worried that that kind of thing won't come for a really long time if it ever does come back. Which is a bit of a worry. I mean, they're selling festival tickets right now, like, which is crazy. I don't think they'll go through.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how can they guarantee it's going to happen?
Them size gatherings in the summer, like.
It's weird. I feel like over here that we're a bit bipolar with our lockdown restrictions. It's like 1 second it's like everyone relax, chill. The next second it's like, guys, so it's like stay at home. Then it's like, okay, eat out to help out. Then it's like, okay, no, stay at home again. Actually, young people.
They open the pubs again.
Yeah, so it's hard to know. I can't. Me personally, like I know the restrictions for us are lifting around April 12th, and then it will get bigger and bigger. But yeah, similarly, I don't know if in the summer we're going to see a change. I hope we do, though. I really hope. I want to. Oh gosh, I was going to there was a point I was going to 3 locals a week.
I was going to 2 locals. I mean, granted, it was at the same place, but they held a locals on Saturday and Tuesday. Yeah. And I would go to both of them sometimes, just constantly, because there's not like. I've been playing on Dueling Book a lot lately. I used to play a lot of EDO Pro on my stream. Then I switched over to Dueling Book. I've been liking that a lot more because like you can actually like find people to play, and then when you play them, they're playing like an actual deck. And then the rank system is like the rank system is nice too because it puts like a nice reward behind actually winning, and you know it puts like a reason to play behind it. But you know, after so long, after so many terrible hands that Dueling Book gives you, all the virtual dueling and typing out each effect and having to get judge calls and the game is paused. Like it's just like I want to play with real cards again.
That's
nothing beats a physical cardboard.
That's one of the things I hate the most about like it's the same. I tried to use Edo Pro. Funnily enough, I tried to do a Dueling Book series, but I just got so pissed off because I really hate the way people act on Dueling Book because they're not
Yeah.
there. And it's like sometimes it's like this is an obvious rule, you know, this is the rule, but you're you're like
Convincing the other person is like the battle. That like
Yeah.
how you're saying it works is how it actually works.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's no judge online, and then you're like, oh boy.
Yeah, you have to wait
it's
15
not even
minutes.
changed like ever. Even since the Dueling Network days, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Yeah.
Edo
You
Pro
get some
Experience.
proper dickheads as well, man. They think they can. I come up against this one guy, yeah. He was such a nonce, just talking about absolutely disgusting things in the chat, yeah. And I was thinking, if you were sitting there, you would not be saying
at
this.
all.
Yeah.
You're lost in the internet.
Yeah.
It's being full on nonce, like.
Make people do crazy things.
And Edo Pro, I can't lie, is even just a massive waste. If you want to do anything serious, Edo Pro is not even worth your time.
Yeah.
It's like you said with the people. Yeah, for me the biggest thing is people just leave. They just leave. Yeah, like getting a full game on a full match on Edo Pro, because I personally like to play matches all the time. I'm not a fan of singles, so it's like getting a full match. It's
A full match is
rare.
more than like a Blue Moon. Like I was recording this series called the Testing Sessions, where I would record me playing a couple matches and go through the play-by-play on on the fly type thing. And I used to use EDO Pro for that, and I remember getting so frustrated trying to film those videos on EDO Pro. I remember the last one I did before I took a break was the Speedroid episode, I think in the mid 2020, and I even titled it like the first episode because I tried for like 3 days straight of recording for like 4+ hours.
Oh man.
Trying to get just 2 full matches where A, somebody didn't leave, B, somebody wasn't playing Dark Magician Turbo like I lose, or C, I didn't accidentally misclick and fuck up an entire combo that cost me the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So just fucking infuriated trying to film that. And I once I got the shitty second match in, I'm like, fuck it, send it, edit it, fucking upload it, done with it.
Yeah, that single-handedly is what stopped. The only time I use Edo Pro now is if I'm playing with Hard or Sammy. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
If I'm playing with someone I know.
I can't play with randoms. I can't do it. It's just so shit.
Edo Pro is actually a bit. It's really sad as well. So I saw the new. Have you guys seen the new? Is it Project Next? No. What's the name of the new one that
Omega?
Omega.
Omega. Yeah. So
Omega,
what do you guys think about Omega so far?
If it has ranked like Dueling Book and it's automated like EDO Pro, which I believe it is, I'm 100% down to do it.
Yeah, that would be the fucking dream.
Oh wait, so you guys haven't played on it yet?
I haven't played on it yet. I know there was
Okay,
beta. I didn't want to play on it. I was like, I'll just wait till it comes out. I'm not in a rush. So.
Okay, so I've played on it, and what I'll say is I really like the idea. It's like you said, combining kind of the automation with the rank system, the accountability. But for me, the main problem is the UI. The UI is horrible. It's really in your face. And I'm just assuming that because it's the beta, there's going to be options to tone it down a bit and change it a bit. But to me, that's the only real flaw of it. Beyond that, just the fact that it's like, you just can't dodge. Or if you can dodge, but I mean, say goodbye to your good rating. So it's like, that really does excite me in the future for Omega. And there was one other simulator as well someone suggested to me. I can't remember. It's quite similar to Dueling Network, but a lot of people play card games on it. That wasn't too bad as well. I'll try and remember the name of it and I'll actually show it to people because it is a pretty good one. But
I know the other one's Dueling Nexus.
Isn't that one that everyone really just hates? Like,
I don't really have an opinion on it because I've never played on it. And
I used it once. I wasn't a big fan, but a lot of people seem to hate it.
It's not as good as the other two. I think that's my opinion on it. So it's like that's the problem with it. Dueling Nexus, you're right. That is the one I was thinking about, and that's essentially the issue. It's just not as good as Dueling Book or EDO Process. Like almost like why even play on it? It's a bit of a shame. But we're gonna move into our next topic. Actually, before we go into our next topic, we're gonna have one more thing. This is just a quick. This is me calling out both Harj and Sammy on each other's behalf. So we obviously had our Dark Magician versus Blue Eyes match. I am going to be uploading that soon.
Oh no!
Yeah. But this week in the post show, what we are going to be seeing is another match between you guys. So look, Sammy, I heard that Harj said Fluffals are trash. That's just what I heard he said. And Harj, I heard Sammy said BA is trash. Yeah.
I would like proof of this.
Yeah, just so you guys know, that's what I heard the other person said. But yeah, so we're gonna be seeing the post show. What are you guys thinking? I'm excited to see this match. I can't lie. Wait, what do you think? What deck do you think will have the edge over the other, Fluffals or BA?
I really would like to say Burning Abyss. I don't know what his list looks like, but I know like what it's weird because like I really like Burning Abyss, and I don't know what a standard Burning Abyss looks like right now, like a standard. But I know what a standard Fluffle list looks like. At least I think I do.
Looks like pain and suffering.
And I know he's not playing Block BA.
Rest in peace.
I love that deck to death.
I love that dude. I played Block BA at YCS, and like I dropped Sekka's Light, and my opponent just laughed at me. He was really friendly throughout the whole thing before that. He just laughed, and he was like, "You're playing one of two decks," and I think at the time it was like Block BA or Mermaid. I was using Sekka's, and then he drops his own fucking Sekka's and Tour Guide into Block, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude."
Love to see it. Yeah, so I think Fluffle will probably take it. Unfortunately, as much as I want to say Burning, I think Fluffle.
Yeah.
It's very fast.
Very, very fast. Fluffals, one of the things that's insane about them is that you'll be playing Fluffals, they'll have 4 cards in hand, and then like 2 minutes will pass and they have 7 cards in hand, and you don't, and they've been comboing for ages. Like the amount of draw and search power they have is actually nuts. Toy Vendor, Wings, that loop. What's the other one? Is it Penguin? That's like draw 2, discard.
Draw 2, discard 1.
The deck is Fluffals are underrated deck. I feel like the only thing right now is that there's a lot of graveyard hate by proxy because of the 2 top decks. But
and draw birds being made a lot right
now. It's brutal.
Also, what version do you want me to play? PK Fire or Pure BA?
It's Dealer's Choice.
Bring your best.
Dealer's Choice. Oh, so he's confident. He's confident.
Okay.
Excited to see this. Okay, but next thing we're going to talk about is going to be our tier list that we are doing this week. So we are going to look at some of the hand traps in Yu-Gi-Oh, and we're going to rank them. So I'm going to actually quickly stream it so you guys can see on my screen. Let me know if you can see everything fine. Right. So on my screen, can we see all of the hand traps? So I have got a couple of extra ones as well, so it's not just the meta ones. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I thought the card was missing. It's not. So
you got that little creeper one. Put that in the bin.
So I'm just gonna quickly change. So
they'd even add original Karibo into that.
Yeah. So
I'm upset.
What do we think, guys? We're gonna start off with Ash Blossom. Where should Ash Blossom go? Oh, by the way, this is for this list we are saying overall. So it's not just this format. It's in general. How good is this hand trap? So yeah, what do we think, guys?
I think Ash goes the best.
Yeah, that's no question.
Ash Blossom is such a weirdly good card. I remember when it first came out, I hated this card so much.
It warped the format.
It changed everything.
Like it changed everything.
Money card at first.
It was like $100 a card.
It
for
was
a secret
nuts,
rare. I remember.
This was the beginning of the death for Rogue decks.
Yep.
You just see a clean Ash. This is still when I was very into Dark Lords. I'll just be like, Ixchel, discard 2, can I draw 2? And they'll be like, Ash. And it's like, well.
Yeah.
I was already getting shot on with my rogue deck. Now I'm getting shot even
I feel
more.
like Ash kind of, all these mediocre decks that maybe like they've got one big search and that's like in the strategy. Ash just checked it all. Like you deck had to have really strong searches from then on when Ash came up.
Definitely. Ash is a huge
I managed to pull one from LCKC and sort of like 40, 50 quid.
Yeah. Worth
so I basically made back 2 boxes worth of it. And LCKC is now really expensive. Because no one bought it.
Ridiculous, man.
Alright, so let's go on to the next one. This is Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. What do we think, guys?
I think that, for me, I think okay.
Ooh, only okay.
Yeah, just because it's a very, like, that card has not seen any play at all until this recent format with Eldritch and Drytron. Like, it's situational. It's okay. It just takes the right format for it to become good or best, I think.
Okay, yeah. With that logic, I definitely agree with it. I think one of the things I really do like about this card compared to the other is just the fact that it's direct graveyard hate, like negating cards that activate in the graveyard and stuff like that. I like cards like that. There's not actually that many that do that. Yeah, so okay then. So yeah, we all good. We're gonna put that in.
That card helped me so much to block BA, dude.
Yeah,
no Earth in hand, and there's the Ghost Spell.
But I can't lie.
Ghost Spell, man.
with a card like when against Adamanticators, it's like you Ghost Spell them, and they're just like, okay, BA effect and block Dragon effect, and it's like, well,
yeah,
she's it again. Okay, DD Crow. So I can't lie. For me personally, this would actually only be okay for me personally as well. But okay, Sammy, you say good. Why do you think it's better? What do you think about DD Crow?
I think Yeah, it's hard to say really. I think it does what it does really well.
Mm-hmm.
The graveyard's been big for years now, and it's always been the go-to choice. Apart from now, you've got different, Schoolmaster you might see, but TD Colussus, it's been there for years, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's one of the OG hand traps.
Yeah.
I think it belongs. It could either go in okay or good. I think I'd put it in good only because it's not a once per turn.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Not only for that, but it doesn't have to banish a monster. It can banish any card.
Yeah, banish any card.
Yeah.
Too.
So
Oh gosh,
and
people...
we know nowadays graveyard dependent, like a lot of spells and traps are as well. So
Yeah.
Okay, I will put it good. I can't like me. The only thing I don't like about DD Crow is just the fact that it doesn't really stop anything. If that makes sense, like it's good in certain situations, but the thing that frustrating about it sometimes, for example, is you use a DD Crow and it's like if they've got a good enough hand or whatever, they just play straight through it. It's like quite low impacts, but yeah, it's true. It is when it's good, it's really, really good. So this one, can't remember what her real name is, but this one is the one where you discard.
Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood.
Spooky Dogwood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you gain LP basically every time they special summon. If they don't summon at all after using this, you lose half your LP. So funny story about this. I actually used this in YCS, and I went up to like 30k LP against Dinos.
I remember this.
Yeah, the guy I used it. It was the last round of YCS, and it's like I was like, okay, I'm gonna use it, and the guy's like, I can OTK you anyway, and then he just keeps summoning, and then I was like 30k LP. On this card.
And
You bought the playset that day, didn't you?
Yeah. It was. I saw this card and I was like, I really feel like I can make it work because I was playing Dark Lord Grand Marjorie at this point. I was like, I really feel like I can make this card work, but Hey, so where are we gonna say? Is it in bad or?
Say bad.
I would say bad. Yeah, I just haven't seen that card be used in any way, shape, or form, other than just like use time with it. That's it.
And it's a real shame. It's just that gaining it's a unique effect, but gaining LP is just not relevant 9 times out of 10 because like I said, that guy just OTK'd me clean through it. Well, he didn't OTK me, but he killed my entire board, and then it was just 3 turns of him attacking me directly.
Yeah,
so that's a big problem with gaining LP. But okay, Droll and Lockbird. Where's Droll and
Good.
Lockbird gonna go? Good.
I would say good.
Yeah.
Droll and Lockbird.
It is format dependent a little bit, but yeah.
But it's like when it's good, it's usually one of the best hand traps in the format.
Yeah. When it's
it'll be like 100% sided.
It's like OP. It's like better than best sometimes. It's like it's a turn ender.
Absolutely insane. So this is this Whiptail? I think this is...
That's Engraver of the Mark.
Engraver of the Mark. I don't know why I thought that was Whiptail. So let me get the effect up and then I'll read it out for us. Engraver. Gosh, your card knowledge went that's quite bad.
Yeah.
So
I looked at that card a little while ago and I thought it was like low key interesting. I recognize the artwork.
So I'm gonna read out its effect. It is, and I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. So sorry about that. When your opponent activates a card or effect by declaring exactly one card name, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, declare one other card name. The card name your opponent declared becomes the card name declared by this effect. Once per turn, the quick effect, you can target one face-up card in the field, destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. Not gonna lie, no idea what that means. Can someone break this down for me? That's a lot of...
You just lagged out for me, Simeon.
Yeah, are your mic is breaking up?
Do a mic alert? 1, 2. Am I back?
No.
1 second. Give me 1 second. How am I now?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, did you guys get me reading that card?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Towards the end, it started crackling.
So, essentially, what I was gonna say is that I can't really figure out what this card does. I just see a lot of declaring names, declaring other names.
So I think so in a situation, declaring exact. Wait.
Yeah, so when they declare one name...
It's like if your opponent used like Lullaby of Obedience, then they declare Nibiru, and then you change it to Karibo. That card could be very, very powerful. It just needs the right format.
It's too situational,
Very situational.
For now.
It sounded better the first time I read it. Honestly.
So I think the problem is because it's only when they declare a name, right? And how many cards do you have to declare a name to like use an effect? So it's just too situational.
At the moment, I think that's why it belongs in Y, just because we don't know why yet. It'll take a deck for us to know whether it's okay. That's Konami just needs to print a deck that's all about declaring names and things like that. And that card will be really good.
Definitely.
But with that ruling they made where making like Mind Crush and Lullaby, not good at tournaments.
Yeah. That
kind of
ruling
thing.
was actually pretty crazy because it changed a lot. Like, Mind Crush. Mind Crush used to be a really epic card. Lullaby used to be
Yeah,
a really epic card.
and then that rule came out, didn't it?
Completely finished it. Okay, but we're gonna move into, and this I feel like is one of the most overrated cards, or not overrated, but underwhelming after it was released. Everyone thought it was gonna be awesome, but it ended up
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
no
There was a
material.
lot of hype around this card.
Yeah, and it seems like it would be so good. So no material stops you basically from using stuff as a link, using stuff as material for any extra deck summon. Essentially, that's what it does. But yeah, this card I feel like it's definitely in the okay or bad tier. I feel like it's a great card, but for some reason it just
It just never took off. I don't know.
I think it was really, really good at one point when Orcust was at like its height. You could hit one of their monsters and they couldn't be used. You hit the mermaid, I believe, and then once that was in their actual monster zone, it couldn't be used. Like that kind of really screwed them over. So like I think it had its moment in the light if it was only for like 5 minutes or whatever. Like it's still I think it belongs in okay. I definitely don't think it's bad like Ghost Dog, like Spooky Dog.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Because I guess even now I feel like it probably still has its uses now. If you have it in your hand, you could probably still stop a couple of the decks in the format right now. I think, and if I'm not
It's a weird
mistaken,
situation.
it stops tribute. If it stops tributing, it means it's not terrible against Drytron. I'm just gonna quickly check.
Yeah.
Material.
I think that's hand traps as well. Like how you rate them, it does come down to like how generically they work. Like Ash just works every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're never
Ash
sad to
is
see
just
Ash
a
in your
good
hand.
generic coverall.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so we've got the next card, and it does stop tributing. So definitely. I think I like the rate. So the
Wow.
next card, this
I didn't
is
know that. I didn't know it stopped tributing.
Yeah.
so card can't be
Yes.
tributed either. So this looks like a Karibo, but I can't really tell, to be honest.
Hanawata.
Now put it in the bin now.
Yeah, just throw it in wild.
I don't even know what this is. Oh, it stops you taking damage.
I'm pretty sure it's stops burn damage, right?
Yeah, this is in 2006. To be honest, it's just not relevant anymore. Ooh, Lancia, Big Daddy Lancia.
It's doing it against Sibian.
It's doing. My mic is messing up again.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is worrying. I don't want my mic to keep messing up like this. Okay, hopefully it should have fixed itself again.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So, Lancia, what do we think about Artifact Lancia?
I want to say good because it is a pretty good effect, but again, it's a bit like Draw where it will come in and out of the format.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's dominated a lot more than
yeah.
Draw.
It's Iron Wall. It's a quick effect Iron Wall.
Yeah.
One thing,
I think it belongs in good too because it is a hand trap, but it can be used in other ways. Like if you can play it in an artifact deck and summon it off of Sanctum, or like if you're playing Mech Knights, you can bring it off of that World Legacy World Secrets card and keep locking your opponent turn out of turn. So I think it has more use than just being like in the sense of what a traditional hand trap is. It can do much more outside that. So I think for that reason it could be in good.
Definitely. What do we think?
Either okay or good, but I would say good probably.
In terms of comparing it to like DD Crow and Draw, what do you think though? Do you think it's better than those? Worse than those?
It's better than them, but it's not best.
It's not the best.
If there was a in between tier, then
I think it's probably in between. I think in between Droll and DD Crow. I personally would put it there.
Yeah, cool.
You know what was quite cool?
What?
Using it against Evenly and Cool By.
Oh yeah. Like preemptive, and then it's like they just can't finish you. They just can't finish you, which is awesome. So this is the other effect Veiler basically. This card,
Is it okay?
Who's got the name? Who what's the name of this card again?
Moonlit Chill.
Moonlit Chill, yeah, that's it. So this card, I'm surprised at how good it ended up being, because I can't lie, I thought it was just a worse effect Veiler kind of to me. But we did see it in quite a few meta decks, I think. I think we did see it as kind of it was when Dragoon first came out, essentially. People were playing 3 of Veiler, 2 of this, just because it was like it was even more options to stop that Verte summoning Dragoon. So I think, in my opinion, this would definitely be okay, top of okay tier, I would say, because I think it's definitely better than those spell. Yeah,
for sure.
Artwork is 10 out of 10 though.
Artwork is really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, and then we've got Nibiru. So I can't like for me, I feel like this would be in the best tier at the end, just because I feel like in terms of high impact hand traps, I feel like this is probably one of the highest impact hand traps there is.
Yeah.
It's right by Ash.
When it works, it really
when it came out as a world premiere, it fucking shook up the game.
The card is awesome.
Special summoning will always be a part of Yu-Gi-Oh, and that card will always be in the back of people's mind now.
And just having a card that just clears your entire opponent's board, no matter what's on the board. Pretty much,
Yeah.
it's pretty insane.
And
Even when it's a control format, you're still going to see combo decks anyway. It will still be useful.
And even it changes the way meta decks build. Like Dragon Link, that was why they'll try and get a negate out before 4 summons. Like this deck does you. Same with Pens, like just because of Nibiru. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
really
it kind of
card.
it covered Maxi for us. You know, not having Maxi.
Definitely,
Nibiru was there for us.
definitely. Nibiru is a really awesome card. So Ghost Ogre. So
It's got to be best.
really best.
Really?
I'm
Come
more
on,
inclined that it's
I would
top
I
of
would
good
say
tier.
top of good in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's not the same level as Ash. Definitely not. But it is.
Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it's kind of it's
I
history
mean,
as
out of the
well.
original 5, it's definitely second best.
Like if I was to
There
come
are,
out,
it is format dependent. Like there are some situations and formats where like Ghost Ogre is outright just better than Ash. I think
Yeah.
just because like, hitting them with a Ghost Ogre in the right spot is like real.
Yeah.
Because it not only does it, it clears the card, right?
Yeah.
It clears the card, and then depending on the effect doesn't resolve because it's no longer on the field. So like in some cases, you're stopping the card and you're also removing the problem from the field. Too, which is really solid. So I think it takes, again, because I don't think anybody's playing Ghost Ogre right now. It takes the right format. It takes the right deck to be in the driver's seat of the format to really hit it. So I don't think it belongs in best, because best I think is like, we were always gonna have special summoning. We're always gonna have searching, right? We're always gonna have sending, but a quick effect. Quick destruction, like I would say it's good.
Well, one thing I really like about Ghost as well is literally what you said. It's the removal thing. I think that's what makes it so uniquely good. Like just just the ability to get rid of a card when it's actually a problem. It's always going to be useful.
As well as getting rid of back row, not just monsters as well.
It was
So,
useful first
that's
game.
really overlooked.
That was my favorite card of hits all guys when they try and spoofing. It's like get rid of that multi-faker and keep it in the deck. It's not coming back out. Right, this card. So this is another card that I don't know the name of. Does anyone know?
What Kinetic Puppeteer?
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Winter is on a roll.
I played this card in Mech Knight for like 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what Kinetic Puppeteer? Let me read it out. So, quick effect. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Target one monster your opponent controls. Move that target to another one of their main monster zones.
It moves a card. It moves a card.
It moves the card. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I can see why you played it in Mech Knights. I can definitely see why you played it in Mech Knights, but I think this. Oh, my screen's gone. Sorry about that.
Play it alongside Yajiro Invader.
I think it's definitely gonna go in the Y tier. It's unless you're playing Mech Knights or Magical Musketeers, it's not gonna be doing the job for you.
Very, very.
Speaking of which, you still have to upload that and show Winter.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
The Yajiro Invader replay was
my
just...
gosh. Yeah, Hodge traumatized me with Yajiro. Are you familiar with Yajiro Invader, Winter?
Say that again.
Are you familiar
Invader,
with the card
it's,
Yajiro Invader? Are you familiar with that card?
I'm not familiar with it. No.
In the post show, we're gonna show you. Hodge traumatized me with this card. It's very, very painful to play against. But okay, we're gonna go on to. Oh, so this is a really exciting one. I can't lie, because there was a point where this was like a tier
it's
1
such a
hand
troll
trap.
card, but it's still good at the same
It was
time.
like tier 1 at one point. There was a point where people would put cards in the extra deck. Is my mic again? Oh, I just reset it as well, so it wouldn't do that. So okay, it should be back now.
Yeah.
So there was a point where this card, people would literally put cards in the extra deck just so they could play this because of how good it was.
Yeah.
Like, it really
Maybe
was awesome.
Burning Abyss. That's.
Yeah, it's not been great for a few years, but
I would put it in okay at the moment, because when was the last time we really did see it as well?
Yeah, I would say okay. It can definitely be very high impact though. Like it can definitely just outright and not even your turn, but like just force an instant loss because your strategy just completely crumbles.
Yeah, like I remember against like dragons and stuff.
I know some people would hit Firewall with that too, and like it would
literally
just outright ruin Firewall loops.
Or Pens, like you just hit the Electromite and they can't play the game.
you might
anymore.
do it again.
Jesus.
Oh. It's happening again.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly change something so it shouldn't do it anymore at all. 1, 2, am I back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, shouldn't do it anymore. Right, so yeah, I was saying that even for like pendulums, for example, having this card hit Electromite, they're just screwed. They literally can't do anything anymore.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, so are we saying? So I would say okay tier, I agree. So what are we saying? I would definitely say it's below Moonlit Chill, just because it's not as generic. I'd say it's actually similar to these two cards, both No Material and Go Spell, where it's like
I would say probably between Bell and Gnome.
Yeah, quite similar. Yeah, but really, really good. I do remember when that card was kind of top of the format, and it was like you were seeing this in every deck. It was so good.
Yeah.
Dimension Shifter. This is a really, really unique and awesome card. I really do love this card. So I think one of the saddest parts about Dimension, well, not sad, but one of the things about Dimension Shifter is it's such an incredibly strong hand trap. But at the same time, it's because most decks can't play with a banished graveyard. They can't play with it.
It's very situational. I mean, like
It's the right deck. Like
if their margin becomes tier 1, sure. Like you know.
It's beautiful in Thunder Dragons, though.
Oh yeah,
They
definitely.
really loved it. They really loved it.
It takes the right deck to make it good in that small vacuum. But like in general, I think it'd probably be an okay.
Okay.
Because like if you're playing like Thunder Dragon or Gurmaju, then it's like best.
Then it's awesome.
Like,
yeah.
That's a big deck.
So yeah, we'll definitely say it's a shame. I think if we do, it's funny because you'd even expect a deck like Virtual World supposedly to try and play it, but even them, it's not worth it for them.
Yeah.
But okay, Skullmeister. So I'd say this is another card that I really love. I really, really like Skullmeister. I think it's such an underrated hand trap. But Skullmeister, for me personally, I'd say it's bottom of good tier. I'd say there's just so many good graveyard decks that it's really a bad decision to play this card.
Yeah, it's proving it nowadays anyway.
Really, really
Not
good
on once
card.
per turn too.
No,
so
once per
very
turn.
good.
I love hand traps not once per turn because that's some of the painful things. You play some of these, you draw 2 ash and you feel a bit silly.
Yeah.
But drawing something like that is great. Veilar. What do you think about Veilar?
Oh, it's got to be best.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I'd say bottom of best tier as well, Veilar.
Yeah, I mean,
Classic
ever
staple.
since it came out, it's just always been used. Like,
Yeah.
when have you not seen it?
Literally, as long as there's effects on field, it's always going to be a pretty good card. I think the only limitation is that it's only opponent's turn, but beyond that, it's a pretty awesome card. Okay, so Imperm. This is another really unique one. Where do you think Imperm and Veilar are basically the same card, just different? Like,
But I think they've been on the same level, definitely. Like,
It is better than Valor.
you say it's better.
I would say Imperm is above Valor, between Nibiru and Valor.
yeah, it had such an explosive impact when it came out.
Yeah, it
And,
really,
like,
really did.
that card as well was like what, £75 per secret rare? Like, Jesus. Like,
Oh
I think
my
it's
gosh.
still like pretty expensive too.
yeah, even after what, 2 or 3
Three,
reprints? I
4
think it is.
prints.
Yeah.
4.6.
Like, that's a lot of
4.6.
reprints, and it's still like same with like evenly matched, not as expensive, but like it still had the same kind of issue where it just never really.
For me,
competed.
for me, Imperm is the perfect example of when you have more money than sense. So I purchased Imperm just before it got reprinted, so the prices just dipped so bad, and I felt so silly afterwards. But yeah, definitely a really good card. What I like about Imperm, obviously, as well, is I feel like the biggest thing is just that because you can't call Battle Grave it. That really is what is a big thing that really makes it great.
That's true.
So-
And it doesn't like allow for talents to be live either.
Yeah.
You know what? I forgot about Triple Tactics talents as well. That's a
true.
really good point. Yeah, that really does. That's a really good part about it as well. So I think is this Typhoon or something? Typhoon. So this, I'm going to quickly read that out. So Typhoon.
Pop
Target
spell
one
and trap,
face-up
basically.
spell and trap on the field. Destroy it. If your opponent controls 2 or more and you control none, you can activate this from hand. So this is an interesting card. What do you think about Typhoon? Where would this
That card used to be really good against
Yeah.
Clifford, I remember.
Oh gosh.
Very good against Clifford because they used to
On the
send them
scout.
like shotgun like skill drain or anti-spell, and like at the start of your turn you could just pitch that to deal with it, and since it's not a spell you don't have to worry about losing anti-spell. Or I think it's only just decent against Pendulum just because of the 2 spell and trap requirement. So I think it's like, I don't want to say it's bad, but like I don't know.
It's very, very situational because it's got to be a back row deck or like a pendulum deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like bottom of OK tier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because definitely when it's good, yeah, it's like you said, when it's good, it's a good card, definitely. So it's Saurvase, the Ancient and Ascended. So this basically, if a card targets, they target a card you control, this negates that effect. So protection. This is generic protection. I can't lie. I actually think this card is really good. I think it would actually be close to the top of OK tier, mainly because the decks that play this card can search it on demand.
Yes.
By and large, that's
That's
one
the
thing
thing,
that I think
yeah.
is awesome about it.
It's like prep, right?
Yeah, so you can search it by
Yeah.
preparation of rights, or if you're playing in Drytron, for example, you just search it by your Drytron effect or whatever.
Yeah.
In ritual
Logic.
decks, yeah, in any ritual deck, you can usually search it if you've got a ritual monster search like incantation. So what do you think?
Yeah,
I think this would be top of OK
okay
tier.
somewhere.
For me personally, I would say it's top of OK tier just because it's easy to access. Like you don't need to play 3; you can play 1 and get it when you want.
Yeah.
I would say for me personally, maybe between Bell and Cherry.
Bell and Cherry. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair as well. High OK tier. Definitely a really good card. So these are the Psy frames. So, by the way, just a quick side note. I think Psy frames is one of the worst designed archetypes ever. I think it's. I hate this. Do you know why I hate Psy frames? Because the strategy to win against this deck is do nothing.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
I hate it too. But there's somebody in my locals that plays this deck, and they just kick ass with it every week. It's like literally can't be beat.
It's. I hate it. Yeah. Horrible deck. So the first one is Delta. This one negates spell cards. That's the first one. I can't lie. Even if you're playing pure Psy frames, this is usually a one-off. In my opinion, it's
I'd say
bad.
okay, but I don't know. Even then,
the reason why I would say it's top of bad is because unless you're playing Psy frames, it's just not worth playing.
yeah.
Yeah. If there's a spell card you want,
No one's teching that like they're teching Gamma.
Exactly.
So I would...
yeah. If there's a spell you want to negate, it's probably going to be dealt with by something like an Ash. So it's like, yeah,
exactly.
I feel like it's just a bad card. This one is Epsilon, and this deals with trap cards. So what do you think about Epsilon? Same, I'd say again, bottom of bad tier.
Probably the same.
Yeah,
In theory, you could play
Makes
it, but,
yeah, it's just not worth. And then Gamma.
Not reboot.
Oof.
I would
Best.
say Gamma belongs in best.
Yeah, definitely.
Best,
Yeah.
I feel like one of the things that makes, in my opinion, Gamma is basically Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom combined. It's just such an epic card.
Because it can be good on your turn, start your turn as well. Like
Resolving Gamma in your turn is like one of the biggest.
it's so satisfying.
It's such a good feeling.
So satisfying.
I'm about to get a free
And then you just
Ultra.
snowball into a mega off of that, and it's just
Yeah.
you know what?
It's almost unfair doing that on your turn. Like just free Omega, negate,
Literally.
and destroy that card.
It's
I would
actually just a
say-
tilter. Like,
Yeah, seriously. I would say, and then the driver, of course, but like
Yeah.
I would say it's probably between Imperm and Nibiru for me personally.
Yeah,
I would
agree with
have
that.
said at least above Effect Failure.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Around
actually,
that kind of, yeah.
Because it's in fact, you know what? I would actually say it's just below Ash, just because Gamma is in my opinion more generic than Nibiru.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It's good against everything.
Yeah, it deserves respect, to be honest. OCG been playing it for years. Like,
Amazing. Yeah, I think Sammy, you said this once, and it really highlighted to me. It's like whenever people were playing too many hand traps, OCG will start taking in loads of gammas because it's like you're punishing them for like trying to hand trap you too much on your turn. So really hard. So Gauze, this is an old school. So a lot of these are the old school ones. This
this guy.
single-handedly changed the way we play Yu-Gi-Oh. This card
I
back
miss
in the
this
day
guy, dude.
was insane. So Gauze, this battle trap, when they try and attack, Gauze will summon itself and summon a token with the same attack as what they try to attack with. So Gauze, really, really cool card. Nowadays, unfortunately, it's just not as good as it used to be.
got power creeps, man.
Yeah, fully power
Well,
creep.
it did.
man.
I feel like just because of respect, we should put it at the bottom of the OK tier. I feel like it can't be. We can't call it bad. It's not bad. It's just power
It did
crept.
dominate, for a
Yeah.
while.
It had
Yeah.
its time, innit?
If we're talking overall history, I would say probably the bottom of okay or
Yeah.
top of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really interesting card, and it's got awesome artwork as well. We always like that. So
Yeah.
the next card is that Sphere Kuribo?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Put it next to Hayne Water.
definitely. This is interestingly bad card.
Pure
right.
Karibo's best deck, man.
Oh god.
Right, Token Collector. So this is an interesting card. I can't lie.
I like that.
Funnily enough, in my opinion, this is a bad card. I feel like the only thing that really kind of helped it was just link format to an extent and tokens suddenly becoming slightly more viable. But even then, it's only really useful in very specific generic circumstances, and even in those,
It
it's
is.
not amazing.
But Link
I mean,
Cross.
didn't they bring this out and then shortly after it did nothing? Just
For
I don't know.
ages.
Yeah,
Did they limit Phantom Skyblaster?
And
Yeah.
it's
Around the same time, wasn't it?
I would say that's part of the reason, because a lot of the strong token generating cards got banned or limited because of link format as well, which stopped
Yeah.
it being even better. That's why for me
Yeah,
personally, it's
okay.
top of bad tier, because
Yeah, that's fair.
it just doesn't do enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, like stopping Auroradon or stopping Link Cross. I've seen some Dino players tech it with Lost World, trigger their own Lost World. So like that's kind of cool, but again, like very niche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very niche. Right, so what card is this? Does anyone know what this card
I
is?
have no idea what that is actually.
Is it a trap? Was it even? What the fuck?
It must be an Eureka then, if Winter don't know it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
Right, so Gizmek Uka. So Gizmek
Oh.
Uka.
Is that what it looks like?
Gizmek Uka. So I can't lie, the Gizmeks are so awesome. I'm just waiting for more support to come out because I feel like as a theme, they're really, really cool. But I'm just going to quickly read out the effects. Each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, inflict 300 damage to them. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. If a monster is special summoned from the main deck, except during the damage step, you can special summon this from your hand. And then if this is normal or special summon, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, special summon one monster from your hand or deck whose attack equals its own defense with the same attribute as that monster. So Gizmek Uka, really, really interesting card.
Yeah, I've seen this. The only time I remember this card was meta was when people were using it to like stop health combos, and they would just summon the water barrier statue.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, I've just seen people use it for burn, and that for that reason, I would think like it's probably at the top of bad.
Yeah, I look at that and I just think of Trickstar.
But when so we don't know what Gizmek will look like in the future, so it might become like a crazy.
It might be
interactive.
What were you thinking like a kaiju kind of thing where it'd be like special, but then become like maybe okay deck?
Well, it might just be
Can I
gear
print
Gizmex.
something for it?
Because this card, if Gizmex does become a deck, will become insane for Gizmex because every Gizmex has a different attribute, and then this will summon any of them from the deck, which would be quite insane.
I also think we use Mech Knight too.
Yeah, really.
Definitely.
Right, so this is another card that I don't know. I have no idea what this is. This looks quite.
Is it a C card?
I don't think it's not.
Okay, let's see which C it is. Let's see which C card it is. So all the C's are insects, if I'm not mistaken. So So I'm just going to quickly check.
Oh, I see. Maxi is not on this list.
Maxi is not on this list. Oh, you know it's not, but don't worry. It'll have an honorary place. Yeah, so it's Contact C. So I'm going to quickly read out Contact C.
Okay, yeah.
When your opponent normal special summons a monster, you can special summon this from your hand to the opponent's field in defense position. The card's controller cannot fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link summon unless they use this card as material. So this card is sad because it could be so good if it wasn't for the fact that it makes them use this as material.
Yeah, come on, it's like Ibli as well. Like it's a worse Ibli.
It's a worse Idli. It's really a shame because if it didn't force them to use it, if it just said they can't do those things and maybe only let them tribute summon, it would be better. But it's just giving them free material for no reason.
At least with Ibli, they have to either use it, or if they can't, they crash into something and then start something. You know what I mean? At least it's just a worse Ibli.
Yeah.
It's sad. So,
it creates a problem for the opponent, but then gives them an immediate out for it.
Yeah. So definitely that's going to be in the Y tier. So this is another C card. This is which C one is this?
Flying C.
Flying C. Okay. So
Flying
C. All of the C
cards
are
awesome.
Quite unique. So let's see.
That card. I've had some experience playing that card in competitive scenes against like Burning Abyss. And Knight.
Okay, so it stops them from XZ summoning. Okay, so very, very specific, I guess, because it's XZs. But I can see how it would have been a lot better before. Yeah.
Basically, Links, made it useless.
Links really makes cards like this so bad because giving your opponent material is just so risky now.
It power grabs so many cards.
So unfortunately, this I guess it in the bad tier now, just because it's giving your opponent free material. Unfortunately, but next one then Retaliating C. So this one really unique, and I feel like in certain formats it becomes insane. So you basically get
pretty okay though. If we had Maxi, it's much better.
If we had Maxi,
it was always good versus like Shadow Fusion and stuff.
And Infernoid too. Against that.
Okay, so I don't know what card that is. Ally of Justice something, but I'm actually going to change it, and we're going to pretend this is Maxi because so Maxi
Cycle Reader is okay now.
Sorry, say that again.
It's Cycle Reader.
That's the one.
It's actually okay right now.
So it's actually not a bad card. So if we were doing Cycle Reader, I guess it'll be bottom of OK tier. It's not bad against Drytron. But Maxi, so it's our honorary Maxi.
Yeah, Maxi would belong in best.
Right above Ash Blossom. Best Handtrap
for sure.
Right. Yeah. And then the last one, this card eluded me for so long, I didn't have enough money to buy it. And then I was like,
it was amazing in that format though.
Such an incredible card.
Striker Salad Orcus, it was just amazing.
Yeah, really, really. And it's typing. Everything about it was awesome. It was a dragon, it was dark, had a great effect. Like everything about this card was insane.
Like very good.
Yeah, so where are we gonna say? Are we gonna say bottom of best, maybe? Or maybe above Vela, or are we gonna say good tier?
After
I would say best because people were even able to use it with for Dragoon materials as well. So running 3 in a deck already and using it for Dragoon.
I think the Master Rule might have pushed it out a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like maybe top of good or in between ogre and crow. Like
yeah,
just because like it is really good, but you know it takes the right deck to be the best deck. It takes the right format. Like I
Fibers come back to the meta, sure. Like you know,
I think that it's like a more balanced max C because it requires like extra deck monsters to be in play to draw cards. So
definitely. But definitely really, really interesting card. I'm actually really happy. I was actually really happy when it came out because it kind of did what it brought the effect that I wanted from Maxi to the TCG, which is nice. But definitely, okay. So that is our tier list, and with that, we are going to end this week's episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh Show. But don't worry, we've got some more content coming up in the post show. So thank you everyone who has been watching, and a big thank you to Winter as well for appearing on the Yu-Gi-Oh Show episode 3. And anyone got any final words?
Just stay tuned for the Fluffal BA match.
Oh gosh.
Right, no worries. We'll talk to you guys all later. Let's head into the post show.